Hey, everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at, I think, a pretty interesting document
Okay.
called Financial Freeway 33,
Yeah.
How to Structure Your Business.
Mm-hmm.
And, this deep dive is all about kind of setting up your business for maximum privacy and tax benefits.
All right.
And one of the things that's interesting is this information comes from a source that's focused on credit and consumer rights.
Oh, interesting.
So let's
Yeah.
see what our expert thinks about this.
Yeah, that's an interesting angle to come from when you're talking about business structure.
Yeah.
It really is kind of the intersection
Yeah.
of personal finance and business and
Sure.
legal considerations.
Absolutely. So this document, it recommends a three-tiered structure: private, trust, holding
Yeah.
company, and operating business.
Yeah.
And it breaks it down step by step. Like, get an EIN,
Mm-hmm.
form LLCs in both Delaware and your operating state,
Mm-hmm.
and designate yourself as the manager
Yeah.
for the operating business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through why this structure is supposed to be so beneficial for privacy? Sure. So you can think of it as like layers of protection. You have this private trust
Okay.
that sits at the top, and that owns both the holding company and the operating business. But the key is that the trust doesn't directly tie back to you in public records.
I see.
So if someone were to search for, business ownership, your name wouldn't necessarily appear.
Okay, so it's like a shield
Hmm.
or my personal information.
Exactly.
Got it. But isn't setting up all these different entities going to be a headache?
It can be. It definitely adds complexity. There are costs associated with establishing and maintaining each entity. Whether it's worth it or not really depends on, your individual circumstances,
Yeah.
the nature of your business, your risk tolerance, as someone with significant assets. Or a high-profile business might find the privacy benefits outweigh the costs.
Makes sense. Now, the document also emphasizes the tax advantages,
Right.
especially with the manager role.
Right.
Can you break down how that works? What kind of advantages are we talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the manager setup is interesting from a tax perspective because by being the manager of your operating business, you're technically an employee of that business.
Okay.
And this could allow you to be paid as an employee, which has different tax implications than being paid as a business owner.
I see.
So, for instance, you might be able to access certain deductions or retirement plan options that aren't available to business owners.
So I'm wearing two hats, owner and employee.
Exactly.
And that changes how the IRS sees my income.
Potentially, yeah.
Gotcha. But the document's a little vague on the specifics of these better tax breaks. Can you give us some examples of what those might actually look like in practice?
Well, it's really impossible to say for sure without knowing your individual situation. Tax laws are incredibly complex and constantly changing.
Right.
But, hypothetically, let's say you're operating as a sole proprietor now. All your business income is taxed as personal income. With this structure, you might be able to take advantage of certain deductions for business expenses that wouldn't be available otherwise.
Right.
It could also potentially impact self-employment taxes.
Interesting. So there's potential.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Yeah.
Which brings us to another curious point. The document insists on contacting registered agents by phone, not online. Is there like a legal reason for this, or is it just the source's personal preference?
That's an interesting detail. It's possible they believe that phone calls provide like a more personalized and thorough explanation of the process. Maybe they've encountered situations where, online applications lead to errors or misunderstandings.
Right.
But honestly, I'm not aware of any legal requirement that mandates phone communication.
So it might be worth digging deeper on that. Maybe a little extra research could uncover some hidden benefits or drawbacks to the phone approach.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's always a good idea to investigate those kinds of details and not just take things at face value.
Absolutely. So to wrap things up, it seems like this structure is all about creating a separation between you and your business, both for privacy and potential tax benefits, but as you've stressed, the devil's in the details, and it's crucial to consult with professionals before making any decisions.
Absolutely. This deep dive, I think, really shows us that financial freedom often requires a multidisciplinary approach. We need to consider personal finance, business structuring, legal implications, and, of course, our individual circumstances.
Right.
This document provides a thought-provoking framework, but the real journey starts with personalized advice and thorough research.
Well said. So as you consider structuring your business, remember to weigh the potential benefits against the complexity and costs. And most importantly, don't go it alone. Seek expert advice to navigate this financial freeway safely and effectively. All right, thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll catch you next time.